Wow.
Yeah.
All set?
Yep.
Thank you. Go Voluntown Inland Wetlands Watercourse Commission to order at 7:30. Members are all present. This is the agenda. Anything, Joe?
No.
Okay. Approval of minutes last month. Everybody had a chance to look over?
Got one correction. Adjournment,
No days? Yeah.
incorrect spelling of my last name.
I was wondering who that guy was. I started looking around.
No, nothing? All right. Entertain a motion.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Motion made. Those in favor? Right? Opposed? So carried.
Second.
I think I seconded it.
Okay.
Thank
Citizens comments, audience, anything to peanut gallery? Anybody want to say something?
Hi.
How you doing? Glad to see you all showed up. Old business. Notice of violation, 221 Bennett Road, Mr. Anthony General. Excavation within the beach pond and shoreline area.
I spoke with Mr. Gemma yesterday. He right now, as we speak, is at his wedding or pre-wedding, whatever. He couldn't make it tonight. I said, I'm not going to try to drag you away from that. He is working on a plan to show the proposed activities. So,
Yep.
Next month we should have a formal application.
Moving on. Notice of violation, 108 Forge Hill Road, Mr. Jack Cipriano. Filling, excavation, and grading within the wetlands area, watercourse area, and upland review area. And I see Mr. Cipriano's not here.
We heard from staff. Nothing. Table
Table next month.
There's no activity.
it? Yeah, no, I was there. It looked good. There's nothing to see.
And move right along. 178 Campbell Mill Road. Lancet Trust, seasonal campsite.
Director Chuck Oyster Boundaries, representing the applicant. This plan was presented to you last month meeting. Straightforward. The purchaser of the property just wants to build a driveway in an area that we can use as a seasonal campsite. There are no disturbances actually in the wetland soil. The only thing that's adjacent to or directly in the wetlands is he does want to put a small floating dock in adjacent to the shoreline so that he can use it to launch kayaks into the pond. He plans to build a set of natural stone stairs from the campsite area to the edge of the pond. To identify on the plan is going to be bordered by wood chips. And then there's a small area that he has set up for a pad for a temporary shed type structure. It's just going to be one of those resin type, put it together and be able to place it out to store some dry firewood and a couple of things like that. But aside from the driveway, it's really it.
There's no changes on this one.
No changes.
Okay. Did anybody actually get out there and look at the site?
I didn't walk it, but look at it. But
Yeah, we're all excited walking it.
yeah,
I've been out there. I don't see a house.
Along the road there, to that sight line,
yes,
what do you intend to do to improve the sight line?
we're going to do some clearing along the edge of the road.
Yeah.
There isn't any earthwork necessary with the exception of the driveway. on this end.
Up in here someplace, that bank is like
Right.
3 or
right,
4
this-
highs.
Right, this end we're grading it to some proposed contours here. So there's a little bit of a cut. This is the 310. And right, the proposed grade is 309. So we are cutting the shoulder back a little bit and then and that's it.
So you're gonna encroach on town property.
We're gonna be clearing a little bit of the shoulder. We're gonna be giving you a snow shelf. You don't have
The
to-
old road, we're up to there.
Right, the old, right, there's no access for sure. We did consult with Public Works on the driveway on this end, because the water does run off the road there, and we have to go to provide the riprap as well.
Didn't talk to them on that,
Yeah, they saw the whole thing.
they approved that.
They didn't have, nobody had any issue.
Okay, just asking.
Yeah, nope.
Did we get a little erosion control down here?
That's gonna be covered in wood chips,
Yeah,
and he's gonna just put natural stone steps into the grade. Sure, there really isn't any excavation associated with that, you know, it's just some clearing and rubber.
I just saw a couple of wings down here that,
We can certainly put something along the bottom of this during the construction.
yeah, that's it, during production.
Yeah, that's fine.
Will your plan show some riprap or silt fence in
Yeah.
that area?
That would be either self-fence or wood chip farm.
Okay. Which is works, but.
Yeah.
Just for their construction, just.
Yep, no problem.
Any questions? I'd like to make a motion to accept, approve 178 Campbell Mill Road, Atlantic Trust, as a seasonal campsite, with the addition of erosion control with the docket. It'll be on the final plan.
Yeah, we do the rest, but I'm sure.
Motion is made. Second. And seconded. All those in favor? Aye, opposed? So carried. You got it.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.
Oh.
You gonna buy it now?
I didn't realize.
We're gonna buy it now.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
What meeting? Okay, all right. Give me a minute. Oh, sure. I'll wait for you out here.
Next on the agenda, 168 Condon Road, Mr. Michael Garfikowski, single family residence within upland review area.
This is for what gets the
Yep.
approval of the,
Oh, you this evening? Sure.
Check.
Eric Sykes, Surveyor of Griswold. Here to represent the owner and applicant, Mike Wazikowski. 168 Cardinal Road. With success. So.
Yeah.
Spread them out, we share one.
Yeah, give us the one, we'll share it. Yeah.
More. So we got is a 23-acre flag lot. Nomenclature is lot 1 of a 1986 subdivision, approved by the town of Longtown. It was surveyed by a DOT surveyor. Was approved by Health Department, Wetlands, and P&Z, and Mylar was filed as a subdivision in 1986. So we're just doing some house lot for Mike. He's building a retirement home back there in the back. Front lot that he already owns to his son. There's gonna be a proposed 3-bedroom house, on-site septic and an on-site well. I wasn't aware that we had to reflag it because the communication breakdown. So, we had John Ianni, my retirement, we reflagged the wetlands and was much much different. I found some wetlands that are delineated by Snarcy back then too.
Oh, the flags there?
No, but they had some map that he did, kind of sketched in, his name was on it. Very similar to what John did. So, the lots per 10 minutes an inch, so it is permeable soil out there. It's, groundwater was at 2 feet. Things are built on a slab. It drains from north to south, drops about 5 feet, 200 feet. North to south. Right here, the 5-foot contour in here, it drains that way to a little seasonal, where that culvert is, drops about 5 feet. Drops around 5 feet from this area, which is 5-foot existing. 495 approximately, about 220 feet. So we have 3-4%. No ponding or any of that stuff. Like I said, the soil perks 10 minutes an inch, groundwater's at 2 feet, drops 5 feet, 200. Right next to the post house, you can see my benchmark was set in a 120-foot, 3-foot diameter pine tree, so that's lasted that long, so that has been uprooted, so. Basic, up on woods. It's not a 100-year flood check, it wasn't close to being any. There wasn't any 100-year floodplain in the area. The city plans on just putting a 3-bedroom house, one story on a slab, trench system. We're in the 200-foot upland review area, but we don't plan on doing any grading or putting any wells in or footing drains or any of that type of things in the wells. Typical ENS, home stockpiles have been so fenced in. The slope is, the vertical slope is very symmetrical. There's no moles or up hills or climbing or any of that type of thing. So it flows nice steady from north to south. So the soil perks pretty good, 10 minutes an inch. So it shouldn't be any trouble with sedimentation. Water wouldn't be any velocity, do any erosion. The gravel driveway's been there. He bought the lot like early 90s from Ron Melovich. They've been using, they built that road, I think, early 90s, late 80s. They do some steep shooting out back, I guess. So he just wants to, he said, retire and put a drawbridge in there. No place I want to go.
Right now.
It's buildable. Basement. It's a lot.
There's no basement in the house you lived in now, is there?
Probably not. It's something downstream from this, and
Yeah.
but that was a whole different world. They built those houses in, I think, in the early 90s. All
Yes.
along the road, they're all part of the same subdivision.
Yep.
Wasn't it?
They're either raised ranch or
Yeah, that's
slabs, that's it, that's all you can get.
Yeah, typical area. Even across the road, maintenance property, the same thing.
Yep.
Typical Ball town, bottom land. I didn't see anything wrong with it. It's out in this one, I thought. Soil scientist, said he went to there himself his own house, but it's where it might.
Yeah, it's improved.
Not put some underground electric in there. He said he's gonna hire a septic installer, but he might do it himself. When hunting, he's gonna put the slab in one of these beats, and then build it in, let you guys just prove it.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Springtime, once we call it. The whole building himself. So he'll control, he is an excavator, he does all his own excavation site work. Done half a dozen homes from Sterling, Joe reviewed the success, no problems.
Looks like you oversized the beach.
Okay, yeah,
They're all set.
I just didn't know the extras were.
Is there a well on there yet?
No, there's no well, the proposed well, we're working on the corner, keeping out of the wetlands.
Okay.
Plus, we want to go there, we don't want to put it this way. Spot.
Yep.
Give them a turnaround. I was out there in April, I did all the topography and all that, I had no problems with ponding and everything, wet spring.
Today would be a good day.
Yeah, well, out there, that last mini hurricane we had, I don't go out there, take a look.
This morning was pretty wet.
Yeah, he went out that other one we had a couple weeks, a month ago, that little mini hurricane that came up. To go back, I said, you're gonna live there, he's not selling the house, I put it. He goes, we could see the sign on. We're gonna go check it out. He said, we've been there 35 years and never had a problem. I've always had no issue with it, he just wanted to locate the water course, if you're gonna be 50 feet from a water course. Not necessarily the wrong source, but
Where's the water cross there? Is it across the
the.
driveway?
Yeah, that's it, there's a little seasonal. I never seen any water, I located the flags there and I found some, this corner is lot right there.
Okay.
And that one I was digging around for pipes and stuff. And then again, he's got, he did a good job, he put like, what is it? HRCP there, and he's got it flowing in the right direction.
How far is that from Connington Road? Because you don't really.
I
show the road, you don't
got
really
this
show
right there, 600,
Oh, from the, okay, from this location,
Yeah.
not the whole thing.
yeah, it's a flag lot, it's just like a 50-foot strip down to the road.
So this little leak off thing is down back behind your house.
Yes, behind us, it flows in, the neighbor over here, drains off his
That
land.
must dump where they just put that
It goes that way.
drainage in.
And swale.
Yeah, it goes that way.
So that comes from where they put the swale or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was pretty
thick in
flat
there. I
over
didn't see
there.
much through that. It's pretty rough country there. I couldn't see nothing in April. But, yeah, so judging by the invert elevation, it flows that way. Next, we can have his house. Everybody survived that, that sense on the house. There, and so he bought it, like I said, 35 years ago, with the building there sometime.
You look it over?
It's a whole lot, bummer. Shell station. No.
Yeah, we inspected the whole property, but there's the most convenient for our less impact on the wetlands.
This is the only buildable spot for 25
Yeah,
acres.
and that subdivision that was done by Tom Brennan back then, showed us this elaborate subdivision plan.
Yeah, I
But
didn't
that's
see the
where-
whole plan. I didn't see
Oh,
the
he didn't, well, he, back then, they didn't even show trenches of houses back in the mid-80s, he just put a couple circles filled there. But that was the intent, was that area.
Yeah.
People read parking, that wasn't used to. Flood testing for 30 years ago. Al Gosman, he had no problem with it. Hope you know somebody was.
tonight we need to approve it, right?
Again,
Tonight we need approval. You
Yeah.
accepted it last week. I just looking to be sure we accepted it last week. Make the motion to approve. Motion made
section.
and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Right? Right? Unanimous. So approved.
Give me a call when we started in there.
Yeah, the only thing Al said was conditional was he had me stake it out, but it's kind of touching all the grapes and stuff, so I'll stake it out. I'll accept it. That was all condition.
Yeah, that's up when it starts at 2:08, so I can go out, for sure, soul text is there or whatever stuff to do.
You guys got the maps and
Yep.
Next on the agenda, 185 Rock Hill Road, Mr. Nathan Musson, one lot subdivision.
Get out of the record. This one don't have much validation on it, but this one has validation.
Supposed to be flat.
It's supposed to be flat, yes.
Yeah, well, it's still back to the approximate limits.
Well, this is our original plan. We have that.
Oh, we don't have to.
We haven't- I haven't got any revised.
Can you hear anything?
Anything come in?
No.
We'll have to. I can look into either reject it or we have time to postpone it. I think we don't have to. You don't have to flag it.
We accepted last one. so
Huh?
We do have,
Do we just?
You do have
mention
time
that we're here
we
because
have one more.
of
vote.
Oh, yeah, well,
And
We
then.
have 65 days.
Right.
What was
The only thing I'm seeing
Because
is
he wanted to-
that, you know, the house, and well, and septic are proposed at great distance away from the wetland, or approximate limit of the
Now
wetland.
we've got the- we've got some
Yeah,
of the-
last week, month. Be flat. You know, so that was the-
Yeah,
the question.
you guys did one flat.
Yeah, I put a complaint in about it's cabins, the, with all the sewage.
So that's in the approximate. They're probably located this. by the,
Now, yeah.
soils maps. Yeah. so-
One in eighty. What the hell is what's going? One in 40.
Yeah.
From inch to 80.
One to 40, and one on the second map,
One to 80.
1 to 80 on the first sheet, 1 to 40 on the second.
They're outside your upper review area unless the soil map. Yeah. They have a lot of.
Yep. Even straight like this.
Okay.
Or more, yeah.
From the, that's probably the closest point right there, right?
I look at the house.
Yeah, I think this is the end of the
100%
septic field.
reserve, I can't.
Probably.
I think you only put 100% reserve if this one fails, you don't put the septic in, it's, mistake.
house.
Yeah. Yeah, move on.
Is approval for what?
This one might be
No,
house.
yeah, I'm gonna find out.
I want to stand up.
Still wanted to try last month.
Huh?
The real world.
Yeah.
Way more interesting.
Well,
Idea of that.
because it's out of the review area, maybe they put it in flag too. Right?
Yeah.
Joe, if it's out of the review area, do they have to flag it?
Say that again. If it's out of our review area?
Yeah.
No, I mean, a lot of times when something's outside the upper review area, I'll do an agent approval on it.
Yeah, because, I mean,
They're not theory in our jurisdiction. The reason why they're here in front of you tonight is because they're doing a subdivision, and for subdivision approval, they need your sign off. I think the proposed disturbance is quite a ways outside the
We outside
approximate
it.
limits. I mean,
Right.
even with a little bit of wiggle room on the soils mapping.
Yeah.
I think
well, I
I
mean,
don't see anything impacting wetlands if they put a septic system right there.
I don't know what kind of hurry they're on in starting construction here. But, you know, for just seeing they're outside the upper review area, we're gonna push them that hard on the flagging. If they need to get, just something, you know, if they need to get going. So if this is a projected, then okay, would they in a rush or anything?
I have no idea. I would assume so. I mean, everybody's. This stuff can't happen fast enough.
What time you started now?
He does have, he does have a meeting with me on next week this month. That will
Yeah.
be waiting for
It
your
would be
decision.
helpful if we issued a decision tonight, but that way they don't have to wait for P and Z.
Right.
I mean, it looks like the closest point is at least 120 feet off. I think you're pretty safe. And that contour line, the 190, the 192 contour line, 180, that's kind of 390.
Right. They had activity or any, you know, close to it, then yes, but not 100 feet away.
Where did they put the limit from?
Probably that I don't know. But a lot of times with surveyors do approximate wetland mapping, they're using the USDA soil maps. Sometimes right on, sometimes they're off by.
Even 50 feet here is no big deal, you know.
Yeah.
This is what they saw, long way away from anywhere.
We still a surveyor.
There's a sign. One.
Yeah, no, there's no way I can see, approving this map over here, at 138, what's the project at all. I don't see how it's possible. Hi, Matt.
Sorry for my tardiness.
Hi, Matt. How you doing?
Hey. You tell me how I do.
Well, I think we ought to make you sweat because you're not here on time.
Yeah, some road closures, that's coming from Norwich.
I don't care.
Yeah. Cops are out.
last month, yesterday?
I'm not sure. I was over as close to press. I was over at exit 80.
Really?
So we just had a discussion, go ahead and present it back. Tell them what our discussion was as far as flagging it.
The commission's concerned about the wetlands shown on the plan are labeled approximate. So we're assuming that your surveyor, he didn't come out there and delineate them. Just put them in off the soils map or whatever. They were wondering where that wetland line is, but they also discussed the fact that your activity, your proposed house and bedroom and all that is quite a distance away from the approximate wetlands anyway. So, generally anything within 100 feet requires a permit. This is, well, most likely it's out. It's out, even if the mapping is loosey-goosey, it's still. They're deciding whether they want you to wait another month before you get the wetlands flagged or.
A couple months process. I got the zoning coming in as well. I didn't know about the wetlands application in the first place, but found out about that a month later. I like to hear in.
I mean, I don't have any problem with approving the wetland portion of that.
It's pretty clear.
I'll make a motion to approve. Okay, I guess. 185 Rockville Road?
Yep.
Nathan Matt. I said Matt. I should have said
It's the same family. They got.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Motion's been made to approve. Need a second.
Second motion.
Okay. Motion made second. All those in favor? Aye. So carried.
Yes.
You're welcome. Yes.
We're here because Jack said we're gonna, did you get permission or whatever? I mean, how far along is he on here?
Jack.
Jack Cipriano. Cipriano.
He was supposed to show up tonight.
I know. Have you given him approval for anything?
No, not yet. We're still waiting. He's supposed to come back with a plan. So we haven't heard anything.
All right.
So he's live? He submitted an application?
No, he hasn't.
We've been requesting applications for him for months. I originally spoke to him about what he was doing over there back this winter.
No, one comment, he has boats and stuff on the beach, which is state property. Is that allowed
Yeah.
to fill up that beach with the boats?
Is that outside his property boundary?
Oh, it's state property.
Well, it's everything like from the water, so many feet up is state owned, correct?
I imagine, yes.
Yes.
On beach farm.
Yeah.
Anyway, our family had, for years and years, had that beach that we used and used to put sand there and do all that, to care of it.
That's on the far side of the dam, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Now I know what you're talking.
and now he's kind of taking over everything. And keeping everybody out, like it's his thing. And also the cottages he built, we don't know where all that sewage is going. Don't know. But he, during the 4th of July, he had everything roped off, even the beach, wouldn't allow people because he was gonna have fireworks. It's just been, it's going on. So that's why we're here, because we just want to be the other voice, So we'll come back when, next week?
Next month.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be here this month. I talked to him after the last meeting. So it might take what together, I'll be gone. As you can see, he did not show up.
To keep up the speed, we need to be here, because what's presented here is probably different than what Jack presents us when we go to chat with him.
Right.
So the Millar family has enjoyed that little spot since 1925. The Anderson camps in the 60s, 50s, and 60s had their spot.
Tell that he used to share the beach with us.
Now that beach you have at the far end of the dam there, Is that your property right there?
Yeah.
You own that little beach, and that's.
No, nobody owns.
Well,
State
the
owns.
state owns,
Okay.
yeah,
State owns like a sliver there.
Yep,
but our
In front of
property
these
goes
guys
right
and in
to
front
it.
of Jack's.
okay,
You know,
So-
our property goes right down to,
right,
and then the state.
I got you.
I guess we don't want to present ourselves to lose access to something that we've enjoyed close to 100 years.
Yeah.
So if you walk that area, I guess the state line is where that access gate is, because you go through Jack's property and there's a state of Connecticut right of way to service and maintain the dam. And there's a gate there, there's boulders on each side.
Right.
So our property line is probably evenly back. And it comes to a point, Bobby's places, high end of Forest Hill Road, Paul Sobrowski, Maryland's son has the original camp. I'm on the other side, my son is occupying the camp as we speak at 102. It comes to a point where there's a state bound 6-inch granite, global. We just accessed the state beach, the state property on the virtue of this little point, which is probably 40, 50.
Yeah.
You have to walk into the woodland to find out.
Right.
We'd like to continue to enjoy it. We understand that he established himself as a business. It's populated, it's advertising, handouts that they have access to a private beach. So we were just interested in where he takes.
But from a regulatory point, commission here regulates activities within 200 feet of beach pond, within 100 feet of inland wetland or water courses. So that's like, land disturbing activities, building, grading, some of the things you've heard tonight, they're going over replacement of houses, septic systems, things like that. What they don't regulate is use. So, it's kind of like a first come, first serve over there as far as the state beach. You guys have used it for years, and all of a sudden he's taking it over. It's, to me, let's see if that's different. Like, it's really a civil matter between you and Jack as far as who gets to use that. You're gonna have to try to come to an agreement that says, listen, you can use this section and you can use that section. But the reason why he's going to be in front of us is because of activities that he did directly in wetlands, directly adjacent to wetlands, and things like that. And that's what these guys can say yes or no to.
You mentioned where state beach is the owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the owner. Might want to talk to DEP.
DEP.
You are aware though that he's had a notice of violation for the activities that he's conducted there.
I
A
know,
notice of violation from the town.
Yes.
yeah,
So I just want to make sure you knew that, because you don't have the minutes here or whatever.
yeah. So you recommend that we go to state with this?
No, I think what he's recommending is that one thing we do is just be present.
Yeah.
If we want to use the beach, hey, I need to come out of Richmond, Rhode Island, and I gotta bring my paddleboard, I gotta put them there, and I gotta access it and show presence.
Yeah.
Because our presence is gonna be much less
That is-
impactful. Paul has his,
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
the jet ski.
No.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Cam has a boat, he
I
has a
looked, there were like 14 jet skis and a boat, and
I know.
like you said, they literally had the entire, that whole corner of the pond was,
So you couldn't
it
even,
looked like a marina.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well,
See you next month.
Yeah, I'll
see you next month.
First Thursday at 7:30.
Thursday.
Historic precedent matters.
Pardon me?
Historic precedent matters.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're
Not
welcome.
state property. It's not water's right to state.
All right, new business. Last thing, notice of violation, 156 Bailey Pond Road, Starrett Marsh, excavating grading with upland review areas.
So I got a call from Tracy, the first selectman who lived down there about a month ago.
Oh, this is a big excavation.
No, that was Anthony Kevin, but he's at a wedding right now. So No, so 156 Bailey Pond Road, I got a call from Tracy, and she said, hey, major league disturbance going on, they're grading next to the pond, they're grading next to the stream, basically, I believe Eric Marsh has bought the old Romanella property.
Yep.
I did send a letter to him, I haven't heard anything back, it was a typical notice of violation letter, asking an application. Aside from a little bit of grading directly next to the water and a big stump pile right next to the water, I really don't see any other big deal. I mean, just kind of there, get all the old invasive species out.
Wouldn't it
get
all make
along,
a mess?
just clean up the whole property. As far as adjacent to Bailey Pond, I don't know if he owns that. I don't know who owns that strip between the road
Right.
and the pond, state. I mean, there was actually debates, we talked to Tracy about it, but there are actually debates of who owns it. He said they don't own it. Like, well, who owns it? I don't know. So my main concern is that area just gets stabilized, so they don't have.
There's no disturbance, no runoff right now.
I don't know that.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Not, well, after last night, I have no idea. It's probably a pond in that front yard right now. Well, I'll try to, I can send him another letter or try to get in touch with him through Bob.
So you didn't send him a cease and desist or anything?
I sent the same notice of violation letter that I sent to Jack.
Oh, okay.
I was basically stating that you needed to apply for a permit, come in, talk to you guys. You can handle a violation two ways. You can do a formal cease and desist order, where you guys have a show cause hearing. The hearing has to happen within 10 days. Or you can go kind of a more gloves on kind of approach, where you send them a letter saying, hey, notice of violation, we need to prepare an application, have it ready for the next meeting.
Right.
That's usually where I get it.
When you said you sent one, I wasn't quite sure what you get.
But I can send another letter, and like I said, I can try to get another form.
Correspondence, any correspondence? Right. Booklets, stuff like that?
I know,
Agents report?
that's it. You guys know of anything else going on? Condition?
Been quiet. I mean, other than the lake coming up 18 inches last night.
18 inches?
At least, minimum. Still coming up. Some of the docks are doing it.
Yeah, it takes a while for all those streams to get water.
It'd be interesting to look at in at Cipriano's property and see, because that's not, that little pond there,
There's not a lot of free water.
No.
No.
There's nothing.
that's not much there.
Yeah, and it's I drive right past it, so I'll, tomorrow,
Yeah. Okay.
it's not flooded.
No, it's not.
That's always been well drained. The high part of that's been well drained, but that stream that comes in that cuts right behind the cabin that I was
Yeah.
concerned about,
That must be running good today.
that was running good. It's, it comes across, property across the road, it cuts between two other properties.
Yep.
You know, wash all the fill up without we put in the street.
I don't think so. I think that it's been, there's stuff growing everywhere now. Even that pile that he put right on the edge of the water is completely green. It's all what's been stable. That's the only stabilization that's been done.
Yeah.
Yes, nothing's been touched at all in the last 2 months.
We're working to build it, you know, that.
Okay, adjournment.
Just like to make a motion to adjourn at 8:15.
Motion made
I will second.
and seconded. All those in favor? Okay. Right.